Hello everyone. For today's video, I invite you to either join me in movement on the mat or lie down, stretch out, take up some space, and enjoy the sound of Bob Ross painting some clouds. Maybe you paint along with him in your mind.
Here and there and there and here. There. Just wherever. Sometimes it goes to the red side, sometimes to the blue. It doesn't matter. There we are. Gorgeous colors. Now then. Maybe I'll touch a little phthalo blue and just hit it here and there up toward the top. Don't want that blue against the green, or the yellow here, or we'll get green. Then we'll wash the brush. That's the most fun part of this whole procedure. Shake. Just beat the devil out of it. Now then, clean, dry brush. Let's begin blending these colors together. Just blend them together. There, because the liquid white's under there, you can literally move and blend color. And that's exactly what we're doing. I'm just beating the brush to remove any paint that I picked up, without going through the whole cleaning procedure. In layman terms, that's called laziness. There. Just didn't want to bother cleaning the whole brush. Maybe something about like that. Now then, today, let's put some clouds up here in the sky. We're gonna have a sky that's just gorgeous, shiny, bright. A lot of color in it. There we go. I usually wipe the old brush against a paper towel to be sure I've got all the excess paint removed off of it. Let's have a big cloud. For that, I'm gonna go into the titanium white. I'll be right back. Don't go away. There. Put a little bright red with it. Shoot, let's make a firecracker, sparkler. Go up in here. Maybe in our world there lives a big old cloud right up in here. It just sort of floats around, has a good time all day. You know, clouds are one of the freest things in nature, I believe. So just let them go. Shoot, let them have fun. Let them have fun wherever you want them. Let them go. There. Maybe, I don't know. Just decide where these clouds live in your world and put them in. Put them in. And don't just try to copy what we're doing here. Shoot. This is a very free style of painting. We don't use any patterns, we don't trace anything, we just let it happen. And that really is the beauty of all this. We'll just put a little bit down in here, but notice I'm not covering up all this nice yellow color. I want some of it to show through the cloud. There. Maybe over in here, there's some more. Whatever. Now today, I'm gonna get our little soft blender brush. Very gentle, soft little brush. And just blend the base of that out a little bit. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Barely touching. Just caress the canvas a little. There we go. Something about like that. And you can fluff it a little bit, blend it. There. Little old cloud, or shoot, this is a big old cloud. It's just sitting right up there in the sky. Now then, we can I'll just use the blender because this blender is sort of unique. You can paint with it. I'm gonna put at least a little touch of that bright red on there. A little bit of white with it, and just begin putting in all kinds of gorgeous little things that just float around. There they go. There they go. Reach over here and get a touch of that lavendery color we were using. Just at least a little touch. There. See, this blender is so soft, you can just get in here and work all this color without it all blending together. Of course, if you blend it long enough, it will just blend together. But you can put all these things in there just by doing that. Maybe there's one. Go back to my pinks every once in a while. It's up to you. Up to you. Wherever you think it should be. There we go. See, all kinds of little things. Least little touch of the phthalo blue maybe. Ooh, that's nice. Be careful that you don't hit that yellow though, or we'll have a brilliant green sky, and we're not looking for that. Not in this particular painting, maybe sometimes, but not now. Not now. There's a nice little cloud floating right there. All right, a little bit of bright red and white again. And maybe up here in our sky, let's just put, while we have this old brush working so well, let's just put the indication of some little floaters around in here. Just enough to break it up. See? Just little floaters. There. Something like that. Wherever you make the decision. But isn't that brush fantastic for doing things like that? Or you can paint right over that fern paint that we already have up there. Maybe over in here we got a little more. Very soft, gentle, quiet. There. All right. I get carried away sometime. Okay. Now maybe, I tell you what, maybe in our world, maybe, let me grab a fan brush. There's one. Let's take a little bit of that lavender color that was just phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, right on that fan brush here. And maybe let's go up in here. All right, let's do this. Let's put a nice dark cloud in here. That contrast it'll sparkle. It'll absolutely sparkle. There. Maybe we'll put a wild shape on this one. There we go. Got a little bump, lives right there. When I was a kid, I used to sit around and, my brother and I, we'd look at clouds and we'd pick out all kinds of shapes. We'd see the Mino Witch or the Candy Man or whatever. And they all lived in the clouds. You can see all kinds of shapes in there if you just spend a little time and study it, and you got a good imagination. All kinds of things. Back to my little blender. Now then, just softly blend this a little. Don't have to do it much. And you can just bring it all together. Looks like that old cloud just sort of floats right around the corner there. Just like that. There we go. All right. Come right on out like that. Shoot, maybe there's some nice things happening down here. Just take that color that you picked up and use it. Let these things happen. Let them happen. And very lightly. That's where the blender brush really works well. And sometimes you can take a little bit bright red and white. And you can put a few little highlights up here just to dull everything down so it's not quite as distinct. A few little areas right along in here somewhere. So you can make out a little detail in this cloud. Don't want much though. But don't want to lose that gorgeous darkness. It really works in this painting. I like that darkness. There. Something about like that. Now sometimes, let's take some pure titanium white. Maybe in our world, maybe the sun lives right behind that big cloud there. So we can just take pure titanium white, and I'm just going to use the knife. You can take your finger or you can take a brush, but I want to push forcibly some white paint right into there. I want this to be very bright. I'm just going to go right over that and I'll put it back in if I decide I want it, because we don't make mistakes. There. Now, we can take our blender brush and very gently just blend that right in, and that'll end up being a nice, gorgeous, bright spot in our painting when it's done. See there? Just blend it all together. Look at that. See that contrast? It just jumps right out at you. And that's what we're looking for. There. Shoot, tell you what, while we got the old blender brush going, watch here. Let's take a little bit of that nice lavender color. And let's paint in maybe the indication of just a happy cloud that lives right here. Very soft, very soft. Very, very soft. See, we're just working in layers. I want this cloud to look like it's in front of that. So put the other thing in thing is farthest away in first, and then begin working forward, forward, forward. That's all you have to do. There it is. There it is. We just let it work right on around. See there?